Diptyka Laurent now joins me for a look through the papers. Dipty, thanks so much for being with us.
Hi, Sanam.
You're kicking off with the former president of Brazil, Lula da Silva, who was in Paris this week.
That's right. The leftist leader was actually made an honorary citizen of Paris earlier this week in a ceremony. He also gave an interview to the communist paper L'Humanité, in which quite a wide-ranging interview. He reflects on his battles for democracy and against inequality. The paper reminding us that he was freed just last November after spending 580 days in prison. In this interview, in particular, he directs a lot of his criticism at Jair Bolsonaro, the far-right president of Brazil, for his attacks on women, on native Indians, on Afro-Brazilians, and for his advocacy of the right to bear arms. I quote Lula, who says in this interview, "Instead of being president, Bolsonaro could have been a sheriff in the wild, wild west." He also maintains that his imprisonment was a means to prevent him from taking part in the presidential election. After all, the presiding judge, Sergio Moro, ended up becoming justice minister in Jair Bolsonaro's government.
Now, Dipty, staying with France, the country is gearing up as we speak for local elections to take place later this month. And of course, the Paris mayorship is looking to be a three-way race.
A three-way race between three female candidates, it must be said, including Anne Hidalgo, the current socialist mayor who's standing for re-election, Rachida Dati for the Conservatives, and Agnès Buzyn, who we all know came late to the game, to replace Benjamin Griveaux as Emmanuel Macron's party candidate. The three women, the three front-runners, and the other candidates went head-to-head in their first televised debate yesterday. It is looking to be an uphill battle for Buzyn, who must convince voters that she's passionate about Paris, that she's competent to take on the mayorship, and is capable of managing France's capital. Hidalgo, meanwhile, is the favorite. It's still neck and neck. She's not really universally loved by Parisians, but she'll be relying on the disunity of her rivals to give her that edge.
And it shouldn't come as a surprise that the coronavirus was, of course, on top of the agenda in that debate. And it comes as authorities inside the country are warning that they should be raising the maximum health warning alert.
In fact, authorities, that's right, Sanam. In fact, authorities have said it's, quote, inevitable that the warning will be raised to its maximum level 3 level. And Les Echos, the French business paper, explains that at that stage, it would paradoxically mean fewer restrictions for healthy citizens, with authorities then focusing their attention on the most vulnerable and emptying out the hospitals, or freeing up beds in hospitals to actually treat those with the virus. Stockpiling food, stealing face masks, metropolitan cities completely deserted, and unjustified attacks on people of Asian descent. This virus has really sparked the most irrational of human behavior, and it's something that Les Echos is also looking at. The paper saying, put things into perspective. The virus has, for the moment, infected 100,000 people in a planet of 7 billion and killed about 3,000. In comparison, the simple seasonal flu kills up to 650,000 people each year.
Panic is spreading. The Guardian's reporting that the one thing we should be doing is washing your hands, and that's pretty much all I'm doing.
Yeah, that's right. No, but it's also strange hearing people discuss how important it is to wash hands, because it certainly should be something you should have already been doing. In fact, the U.S. CDC, the Center for Disease Control, suggested that you can sing happy birthday twice while you're washing your hands. That's the equivalent of...
Twice? I thought it was just once.
No, I read it was twice. It's the equivalent of 20 seconds. I tried it, and actually 2 times it seemed like a very long time. But let's be honest, singing happy birthday is kind of weird if it's not actually someone's birthday. So The Guardian has put together a playlist for hand washing. You can sing the chorus of the Bee Gees' Staying Alive. That's quite appropriate. You can also sing the chorus of Take On Me by Aha, but only if you hold that last note just a little bit longer. You can also sing the less cooler Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. That is a time appropriate hand washing recommended playlist.
A rendition?
No, thank you.
All right. Dipty Laurent, thank you very much for taking a look through the papers. If you want to follow any of Dipty's stories, you can go to our website. That's www.france24.com.